last year was terrifying, but sadly this year is still terrifying. But we made it though. We made it out of terrifying 2020, and we have entered an era that we are now familiar with because it is the new normal. But in the back of our mind, a lot of us thought that as soon as we get out of 2020 and 2021 comes, we're gonna leave all the negative things behind, like COVID and everything else. But sadly, that's not how it works. But we still have wishes and predictions that we hope will come true in the future months to come. So we asked some tillers what their 2021 predictions are.
Considering how weird and unprecedented the year 2020 has been, we decided to go ask people around Tustin High to get their opinions and their predictions for what might be in store for the year 2021.
Hopefully it gets better. I mean, it's just boring because no one's here at school. But hopefully we can take off our masks soon.
Well, I have a few predictions. I think that Teletubbies will once again be the premier way to teach our youth instead of Schoology. I think Joe Exotic will finally get the pardon he deserves. I think we can all agree on that. I think K-pop will finally disappear. Deadpool 3 will be put in motion, and along those lines, I think Crocs are going to make a huge comeback. The Angels will win the World Series, and I will again see The Who live in concert. Those are my predictions.
I think it's gonna go in between, it's gonna get better, and then it's gonna get worse again, and then better, and worse again, and then sometime next year it's gonna have a stop to it.
My expectations for 2021 is that I hope, theaters open up because they've been closed for a while. I hope by the time the next school year starts, there's a lot more people at school, and I hope that the vaccine, everybody takes the vaccine and the virus gets a little bit lower, the danger level goes a little bit lower. So yeah, that's my predictions for 2021.
Well, it's been a worse year, but I wish by this year it's gonna get better, and I hope everybody comes back how it was back then.
For right now, it seems like it's kind of getting worse because it seems like the coronavirus is coming back kind of more. And I just hope it gets better. I don't think it's getting kind of good or anything.
Oh, hey man, Happy New Year's. What's up? We haven't spoken since last year.
Those are some really good predictions. I unfortunately suck at them, but what I do know for a fact is a lot of you are a fan of the show The Bachelors. And there is a new season. If you would like to avoid spoilers because you haven't watched it, you can go to the timestamp here because I don't want to spoil anything for you. If you don't mind spoilers or have watched the show, this is a mini recap.
Girls, today, the plan is simple. I will be giving you a recap of what's going on in the one and only show, uncomparable, The Bachelor 2021, Season 25. This year, the first black male to show in the show, Matt James. And I will be giving you all the details and stories of what's going on in the house with the girls, all the drama, all the crying. Let's get to it. The 29-year-old, born and raised in North Carolina, Matt James, the first black bachelor out of the 25 seasons, is looking for the love of his life among all of these lovely women. But not all is too lovely when all of the women are in one room by themselves without James. Let's take a look.
Don't come in here and tell me you deserve the one-on-one because you do not know. And don't tell me you get what it's like because you don't get it.
I'm very confident in what I want to do with my life, and it's showing how insecure you are.
I'm not insecure nor attacking you,
So what are you
Katie.
trying to accomplish with this conversation? What's the point?
I mean, I think it's rude the way you speak to me.
I'm gonna speak my heart to you, okay?
Go for it.
Victoria, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings, and
Thank you.
we can sit here.
I accept your apology, but I think that we have very different realities of what occurred.
As you can see, not all the girls are getting along with each other. With the new girls and the girls from the beginning, no one's probably getting along at this moment in time. But As you can also tell, Victoria is one of the most hated girls at the moment. She's always getting into arguments, but hopefully Matt James can see her true colors and she leaves within these few weeks. But that's all I have for you today. See you guys next time.
If you're not a fan of The Bachelors, let's talk Spider-Man. Because who's not a fan of Marvel?
Hello, people of Pleasant High. I'm your host, John Salgado, and today I'm here to talk to you all about the origins of Spider-Man. Spider-Man was created by the comic book legend Stan Lee, but believe it or not, Lee had trouble with his idea. His publisher believed there would be zero chances that it would be successful. However, in 1962, his publisher let Lee try Spider-Man in his own solo comic Amazing Fantasy number 15. In this comic, The Amazing Fantasy, Peter Parker is on a field trip when he gets bit by a radioactive spider that gives him spider-like abilities. Peter's father figure, Uncle Ben, dies to a robber that Peter could have stopped earlier if he had acted. He chose to let the robber get away, which haunts him to this day, which teaches Peter this important life lesson. It becomes a key cornerstone of Peter Parker. It teaches him with great power comes great responsibility. After this, Peter Parker dedicates his life to fighting evil. All of this in only Spider-Man's first comic, and it was very popular, becoming a top seller. Spider-Man got his own comic series, The Amazing Spider-Man, a year later in 1963. And thus the story of Spider-Man was born. You now know the very basics of Spider-Man. I'll see you nerds next time.
It's now 5 p.m. 5:05, and I haven't eaten lunch because I can't cook and my mom's not at home. But Spencer's got my back. He is a great chef. He can cook blindfolded. If you don't believe me, here's proof.
Hey guys, Baking Champion here. Today, I'm gonna show you how to bake brownies while blindfolded. Let's go. So the first thing we gotta do, obviously, is put on the blindfold.
Hey, that's a mask, dude.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What else do we need? We're gonna need to crack an egg. Put it on there. Let's crack another one. And I hope I got that right.
You missed one of those eggs.
Oh, for the love of... Alright, just, tell me when to stop, okay? Is that enough? That's probably enough.
Okay.
1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Now we're ready to mix. Now that our brownies are mixed, we just gotta put it in this pan. In my arrogance, I forgot to preheat the oven, so let's try to find the buttons I need.
2 hours later.
Alright, oh, I think I got it. So, 30, 325. I think that's 325, if I counted my 5s correct.
Nope.
Because 5 times 5 is like 25.
Brownies. Put them on the center of the rack. I think that's the center. Let roll find out. And we're done.
1 hour later.
Shoot! Shoot!
That one's on me. I am so sorry. I should not have trusted Spencer. But just trust me one last time. I promise you won't regret it because Caesar, he knows what places to get the best meals at and what to avoid. Like Spencer.
Good morning, Tillers. Cesar Nunez here again, getting ready to try out and review some Carne Asada fries. Heard they're good. I don't know they are. Let's give them a shot. Did you know Carne Asada fries were first founded in the 90s? It first started off in a small taco shop called Lolita's Taco Shop. From there on out, it just skyrocketed. Alright, without further ado, let's give it a shot. What is that tapatio? Or do I gotta add to it like the true Mexican that I am? Every drop, no drop is going to waste. Best I ever had. The cream, everything, the combination is just absolutely stunning. This dish was also served at Petco Park at Dodger Stadium. They adapted to it, and so did Del Taco later on in 2015 when they decided to sell their own Carne Asada fries. All in all, not bad. I can see why people like it. I can see why it's popular too. Amazing. I enjoyed eating this. I enjoyed having this. You can pretty much get it at any Mexican restaurant. Again, good morning, Tillers. Cesar Nunez signing off. Until next time.
As important it is to keep your heart and taste buds happy, it's equally important to keep your mind and body healthy by exercising. Some of us, me, avoid it. Some people, cross country, love it, and I don't understand how or why.
Hey Tillers, I'm here at the cross country practice to show you guys how amazing our runners can be. Let's check them out. What do you think as you run?
I don't know. Let's see, what do I do? I always think I'm almost there.
That's a good one.
Okay.
So how does it feel to run during a pandemic?
Honestly, it sucks. It does. You don't get the same experience as before.
Oh, okay. So what keeps you motivated to keep on running during these rough times?
It helps me keep in shape. Helps me, succeed what I want to do. Just keep running and just, do what you like. Is running. Yeah.
Has coaching this year been different from last season?
Well, it's been a lot different in the sense we're doing a lot of virtual coaching because of the COVID situation. We have kids who are not coming in person because the concerns they have. They stay at home, they have distance learning they're doing, and so they just don't come in person to do the practices they would normally do. So we have to give them the practices online, and then they themselves do kind of work out on their own, individually, independently, whether it's at home kind of workout or they actually run on their own, but of course not congregating with other people. So it's a safety issue.
So what are your plans for this season?
Plans is just to really get these kids to get more participating and to compete at least one or two meets, because right now, because of the protocols and all the safety concerns that we have in the lockdowns, we have not been able to actually have any kind of competition. And because we've been limited with competition, that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to one day being able to race at least one race. And for us in cross country, it's a dual meet.
So how do you motivate your runners to keep on going?
Mostly beatings, threats, a little blackmail for the good ones. But no, they've really done a good job of motivating themselves. Again, just with the hope of having a race, and it looks like their hopes are going to be rewarded and good work, because we're the only sport allowed to have some race. So now we have some real motivation for them. But it's just been thoroughly impressive to watch some of these kids showing up every day since late September, not knowing if they're going to have a race or not. That's got to be, it's hard enough when you know you're going to have a race to come out and really torture yourself. And so to do it without that has been, this has been one of the more heartwarming seasons I've really coached.
Glad to hear that. Thank you.
I'm getting tired just by watching them run, so I'm gonna end the show and go take the luxury of doing shows from home. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Tiller Media Network, and bye-bye. I have homework. Are you sad like me? Good morning, Tillers, and